Hi everyone, I am so excited because I have a very special guest here today. I mean, all my guests are special, but this one is pretty special. This is my friend Darrin, and Darrin is a teacher at the Lion Brand Yarn Studio as well as a studio associate. So Darrin, what is happening here? You are a dyer, you love to dye yarn.
Mm-hmm. I've always wanted to do an experiment with dyeing yarn with tea. Dyeing yarn with natural ingredients can be really complicated because you have to use sometimes a heavy metal for the mordant like tin or chrome or alum, but with tea, because of the natural tannins that are included in the tea naturally, you don't have to add anything, so it's perfectly safe to do in your home.
So Darrin, Lion Brand Yarn has a lot of options that one could use to dye yarn.
There are really a lot of choices. The one that I used was this one of my favorite ones is the 100% wool from the LB collection, and it's really easy to work with because it's already in a hank. There is the Angora Merino, and we have the crepe twist. I didn't try any of the cotton, but I think it would be a really good idea. You could try it with cotton because sometimes cotton is hard to dye, but I think the tea would stain it quite easily. And something people don't realize is you don't have to start out with white or cream. You can over dye yarn. So if you have a yarn that maybe it's too bright, or maybe you just want to tone it down for like an autumn color, you could over dye it with tea, and then that will change the color. This would still be yellow, but it might be like a burnt yellow, or like yellow ochre or something.
Now you have some examples here of what you've done. Tell us about that.
They started out like this one.
Okay.
So like this one here is undyed.
Okay.
And I used black tea, gold tea, green tea, and then chamomile is an herbal tea, so you do have to add vinegar, and that's what helps to set the dye. It's really easy, just like a couple tablespoons of vinegar. Black tea, green tea, gold tea, they all come from the same plant. They're just raised in different parts of the world. The leaves are picked at different times, different altitudes. But many of the other teas are herbal teas, so then they come from all different types of plants.
Right.
And they don't have the natural well, they may or may not, depending on have the natural tannins, which will actually set the dye. And if you don't add a vinegar, then when you wash it, then it can just wash away. Like it won't stay it might stain it a little bit, but it won't be color fast. So this one I left in for 1 day, 2 days, and then for an entire week.
We have a little, situation in the making here. We made some tea earlier with 10.
You want to use a lot of them if you want a really dark color. So I used about 10. And
so this is a mason jar that you can buy at any local craft shop, whatever. So Darrin, we have some pure wool here from the LB collection, and we're gonna maybe take our jar. Okay, so we've let it sit for maybe about like 10, 15 minutes.
Just until it looks like it's strong tea.
So I'm just gonna put it in, right? Careful you don't burn yourself, everybody.
And so, but whenever it's done, you just wash it very gently and hang it to dry. So that's really all there is to it. And the hardest part is now you just have to wait. And since I was working with the yarn and dyeing the yarn with tea, I thought it would be appropriate if I made a tea cozy out of the yarn that I dyed with the tea.
This is out of control, Darrin.
It's all just out of single crochet.
Okay.
And the body of the teapot is the black dye, or the black tea. And then the center of the flowers is the chamomile tea. And then the flowers themselves are actually not dyed.
A little teapot.
Enjoy it.
Oh my God, I will enjoy
you.
it. Thank you. Darrin, this is so beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much for coming to have tea with me, to show me how to dye tea. I'm really excited for my project that I'm gonna leave in. And thank you so much for coming to talk to me.
Thank you for having me.
So let's do a little cheers to
dyeing yarn with tea.
I love it. Bye everyone. Hi everyone, I am so excited because I have a very special guest here today. I mean, all my guests are special, but this one is pretty special. This is my friend Darrin, and Darrin is a teacher at the Lion Brand Yarn Studio as well as a studio associate. So Darrin, thank you so much for coming to have tea with me.
I don't know what to say. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to say.